Maddie Fairfax exited Mrs. Berrigan's tent without looking where she was going, head bent, one hand rifled through the wicker basket she held. She sensed someone hovering nearby, a little behind her and a few feet from the Berrigans' tent. That wasn't unusual. Since the first week she and her sisters had begun traveling with this Oregon-bound wagon train, folks had sought her out when they needed help. She wasn't anything special, not a nurse, not officially, but she'd learned about herbs and home remedies from a dear neighbor, Mrs. Murphy, when growing up in Dublin. When her father had been sleeping off the drink, when her older sister Stella had gone off to work in the factory, Maddie and Lily had needed someone to watch over them. Maddie had needed someone to nurture her love of learning, keep her from drowning in loneliness. Mrs. Murphy had done that for her. She was still rifling through the basket. Where was that yarrow? But she heard the crunch of footsteps on the dry prairie grass behind her. "Excuse me." She stopped, surprised at the cultured male voice. Her fingers closed around the sprig of yarrow as he stepped closer to her elbow. "I've been hoping to meet you," he said. "I understand you've—" Her bonnet slipped back slightly as she glanced up. And up. My, he was tall. Piercing brown eyes studied her. She recognized him immediately. The man who'd accompanied Owen Mason and his wife Rachel when they'd returned to the wagon train days ago. A doctor she'd overheard during a late meal one evening. He was striking, with a patrician nose and strong jawline, with only a hint of stubble. Dark hair peeked from beneath his hat. His eyes took her in, just as she was doing with him. His nostrils flared wide, and his lips firmed in disdain. She knew that look. Sean had worn the very same one on the night he told her he hadn't ever loved her, not really. He'd broken her heart. She couldn't help the minute narrowing of her eyes. What right did this man have to look at her so, to dismiss her before she'd even spoken to him? He cleared his throat, expression shuddering. "I'm Dr. Jason Goodwin. Folks call me Doc. I thought it was time we met." Jason. For a moment, time grew sluggish, or maybe that was the beat of her heart in her ears. She smiled tightly. "Maddie Fairfax." She stuck out her hand, offering a polite handshake, even though he still looked as if she were a bug that had landed in his supper. It took a beat too long for him to reach out and take her hand, a flush high on his cheeks. He barely touched her before he dropped her hand like a burning coal. She didn't understand this instant dislike. She had a very good bedside manner. It made her bristle. He jerked his thumb toward the tent she'd vacated moments ago. "Perhaps I should examine the patient." "Why?" she asked warily. "I've heard good reports about how helpful you've been to the company thus far." She didn't smile, simply waited. "But I'm a doctor by profession." Surely he didn't mean the words to offend. Her eyes cut to the tent and back to his tight-lipped expression. She could give him the benefit of the doubt, couldn't she? She shuffled closer so that she could lower her voice. The wagon train was full of gossips. No need to give them any fodder.